I hear something like a TV or something.
That was me. WIBC.
Ah,
Good morning.
morning, everyone. We'll get started in just a minute, and this will be a very brief briefing. Um,
Good morning, guys.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Hey, Debbie.
Yes.
Um,
Hi, Rita.
Hi, honey. I'm sorry. Um, I need to talk with you after a meeting. Give me 3 minutes, okay?
Okay, when we're done, you just give me a call, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Hi, Kay.
Good morning.
It's
All
good
right.
to see all of you
Uh,
guys.
Good morning, everyone. I think we'll go ahead and get started. This briefing will be very brief. So I hope you're all doing well. Just want to get started here and remind you that our next deadline we're looking at is not until April 15th. So we've got a good month to go before conference committee reports have to be approved and the third reading on bills. And we're all looking forward to April 29th. Um, some of us more than others. But we'll just jump in here and talk about what's left on our list of problematic bills or bills that we are opposing. And the first and the one that we have spent a lot of time on these last couple of weeks is Senate Bill 1. Senate Bill 1 is over in the House right now being heard in Ways and Means. We've had two 5 to 6 hour hearings on this bill so far. Um, this past or this week, they considered House Bill 1402 as an amendment. So the plan is to strip Senate Bill 1 and insert 1402. Now, 1402 had not been heard. It had been assigned, or it had been heard once and assigned to committee, but it had not been picked up to actually have a hearing yet. So on on Senate Bill 1, the author is Senator Holdman, and then it went over to the House, and the sponsor there is Jeff Thompson, who is also the chair of Ways and Means. Now, Jeff Thompson also authored 1402, Local Government Finance Bill, and this is a 200-page bill. And I don't know if he's on here, but I want to thank Angel Valentin for reading through that and pointing us in the right direction to which parts of 1402 we needed to focus on. We have done that. We've done a lot of analysis. Drew has worked very hard on this as well as there are others that have really poured into this whole issue of property tax relief. As it stands right now, with 1402, that is a um, better bill, if you will, than Senate Bill 1 as far as its impact on townships. However, we still have a lot of concerns with it, which we voiced in testimony this past week. They didn't move anything, so they didn't amend the bill yet. They just presented it as a proposed amendment. It's our understanding that they are now going to take 1402, work out some kinks, and most likely bring it back next week to actually amend Senate Bill 1. It is quite a bit different than what Governor Braun is asking for. It is quite a bit different from what came out of the Senate. So this tells us that if it does pass out of committee, and we assume it will in some shape or form, and let's say it then passes the House floor, it'll go to conference committee where legislators from each of the four caucuses will be assigned to come up with a conference committee report. In other words, that's when the real negotiations begin. So two of those people on the Republican side are Holdman and Thompson. We don't know for sure who the other two caucus leaders will appoint. As far as the Democrats, I'm guessing Porter, Representative Porter, might be on the House side since he is the ranking member on Ways and Means. On the Senate side, I really can't guess for sure who will be put on there. Got a couple of ideas, but don't know for sure. So that's the process before us. ITA has been there to testify at these hearings, and I want to thank Angel and Flory who joined in on testimony last week. But there was a whole team of folks from the legislative committee that kind of a subcommittee, if you will, that have reviewed our testimonies each time, gave feedback, helped us revise, etc., based upon the language of the bill. So I hope you will join me in thanking all those that have volunteered their time, some of them countless hours really, on property tax relief bills. So I'll pause here to see if there are any questions on this particular bill. Okay, hearing none. The other bill with which we have great concern, and you've heard us talk about this already, is House Bill 1461, road funding, which was authored by Rep. Jim Pressel. And then as it's gone over to the Senate, it was assigned to the Committee on Homeland Security and Transportation, chaired by Senator Mike Crider. Senator Crider is what we call a friendly. He has an appreciation for township government. We met with him last week, and he gave assurances that he's going to really work the bill over. We don't know exactly what proposed amendments might be. They are not posted yet. At least last night they had not been. But we are reaching out to him, Senator Crider, again today to get an update as to where he's going to take this thing. It's up for a hearing next Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. Encourage you to tune in and watch. Now, I don't know how many of you go to third house meetings on the weekends or anything like that in your community, but encourage you to talk to, especially if your senators are on the Homeland Security and Transportation Committee. If your senator is on that committee, it's important for them to hear from you that we have great concerns about the provision in the bill that would require townships to move 30% of their annual budget over to a new road fund. This is beyond problematic. This would basically undermine us even existing in some cases because it will drain us dry. So we have serious concerns about that. That piece of the bill that was amended to provide that in the Transportation Committee on the House side. Any questions on 1461? Okay. Then I've got some calendar notes for you. Next legislative briefing will be in 2 weeks on the 28th. And our next township talk will be April 10th. And Drew's putting together a program for that, I believe. We're going to cover a few things. Drew, do you want to talk about that? What you're thinking, and maybe get some feedback as to anything else folks would like to hear?
It's in the works though, Deb. We just had a
Yeah.
conversation yesterday from our township talk to try to get the IoT office to talk about the website and email. There was a law for cybersecurity to have certain provisions in as far as your website, your email addresses having the in.gov, and we got questions about it. So we're going to see if they can come on as well, because there's some other things in that law that talk about like cybersecurity. You have to do like an evaluation every so often. So I reached out to him yesterday, haven't heard back from him. So hopefully, especially since it's Zoom, he's able to get somebody from his office to speak to us about cybersecurity, and the email questions and the website questions that people have of in.gov.
Very good. If you missed yesterday's township talk, we will be getting a recording up sometime early next week, I would guess. In case you missed it, you can go back and watch it. Drew did a great presentation on the upcoming requirements for streaming and or recording, I guess, but recording of meetings and storing those. So if you didn't catch that, again, that'll be posted for you next week. Lastly, our next quarterly live seminar will be on May 7th in Fishers. You can register now online on the website. So look forward to seeing all those that can make it May 7th. I told you this would be brief. Any questions?
Debbie, I just wanted to first of all say thank you to you for, I've gotten a real appreciation as now sitting with you on several occasions and watching Ways and Means and watching how you come in with testimony prepared, and then watching how the questions come from left field and all sorts of areas, and your poise and focus in representing all of us, and very much appreciate that. Also wanted to comment just briefly on our meeting with Mike Kreider, and as he was talking about the mental health bills that he is focused on. And Debbie, I don't know if we want to say anything about that, but I was really heartened. I don't always think about the mental health bills, and he was talking about the funding mechanisms and how hard he works to get the funding through the sale of tobacco and alcohol products and cell phones, and trying to make sure that mental health support continues throughout all of our counties, and trying to grow that. I don't know if we wanted to say anything else about that, but I thought that was particularly interesting. It was a side conversation, but I thought that was particularly interesting.
It was, Flory. Thanks for bringing that up, and thank you for your comments. Appreciate that, and ditto to you. And as far as Mike Kreider's work, it is relevant to our place, and I think any support we can give in that vein would be great. I don't have the bill numbers in front of me though, Flory.
Maybe we can send those out and follow up.
Yeah. And you mentioned, Flory, that during testimony, we did get questions from left field, and they were pretty much all centered around merging. Why are townships not merging? How can we get them to merge? What do you have to say about townships that aren't doing anything? All sorts of these questions which were not relevant to the bill. So therefore, all three of us, Angel, Flory, and myself that testified last week, we were kind of surprised. And a couple of the members of the committee commented, where this really isn't in the bill, but they persisted. And so this week, when we prepared testimony, we were prepared and gave an opening statement as to ITA's position on merging and the fact that we are working toward a solution with specific criteria that would give indications that a township should merge. So wanted you to know that this is pressing on the minds of many legislators, especially in the House, and it seems that at every opportunity, the subject comes up. So all of you that are on here, you need to carry the word to your fellow trustees, what we are facing, and that we are in a serious spot with the House as far as producing something for the 2026 session. And we will be working on that. We will be engaging with you throughout these next many months leading up to that place of having a bill. So just want you to be prepared for that. Any other thoughts or questions here before we dismiss?
Debbie, did you answer Kathy LaRoe's question?
I did not see it.
She says, does House bill still have 30% term in the bill?
Yes.
You have a sense how this bill will move forward?
That's what we are trying to run down with various folks, including Senator Kreider. So we are hopeful to see that amended in committee next week. But I don't have any specific word. But yes, the bill still contains the 30%.
And I plan on testifying on my own township's behalf on 1461 on Tuesday. So I've reached out to one of my senators that is on that committee and told him my concerns about the language of the 30%. The shall sounds more like 30% of your budget means I have to dedicate, regardless of what I spend, 30% to the road. So I have some questions about that I want to clarify, and hopefully the language that they put in is not what we intended it to be for townships. We had mentioned to Representative Pressel about something similar to the rainy day. So he took snippets of what we were talking about and then changed it to a 30% mandatory, which to me sounds like you would basically, regardless, you'd have to have a third of your budget go towards this roads fund.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything, any questions? Don't want to cut you short, but, and I see your message, Kathy. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, wish you all the best. Have a great weekend and see you back here in 2 weeks, if not before. Thank you.
Yeah.